Recording in progress.
You learn data binding. Data binding, how we can access the data and bind. So there is no change in data binding. So we have no changes in data binding. Data binding expression, data binding concept is same. We learned about style binding, class binding, and event binding. No change in them. Whatever you learned in JavaScript, same in case of this. So you learned about API communication, how to connect with API. For that, you use different techniques. So we used Axios, we used Fetch, so we used XML, HTTP request. I showed you so many. All will work as it is. There is no change in that. So you learned about the concept of working with forms. Forms will work as it is. There is no change. That means we use a third party like Formic and all. So, and you learned about validations and for validations and all. So you learned about various types of hooks. All are same. That means only few changes related to data type. We will see that. So in a React, you learned binding styles, binding classes, data binding, event binding, connecting with APIs, handling the forms, various types of hooks. So one change that you will find here is when you are dealing with TypeScript, so you will have use state. So what is new here is whenever you are using use state, rest of other hooks are same. There is no change in that. Whenever you are using use state, it is a generic type. So that means use state, uh, it is generic type. So if it is a generic type, so you know what is the meaning. It is type safe. So it is type safe. And how you define generic types to handle the data. So this is syntactically, you have a constant, some getter, so setter, and use state and the type, and based on that, whatever memory you allocate, it will use it. So what type you define, the memory will be allocated for that particular type. Rest of features are same. So there is no change here. But what generally we do is whenever we are dealing with some data, we prefer data by using uh, contracts. Whenever we are dealing with any data, first what we do is we create a contract and we use that contract. That is the common approach we follow. For example, that means there is no change in any concept that you learned. So hooks will be similar. Code, yeah. Hooks will be similar, same concept will work. So React TypeScript application. And let me show you one simple example here. So in this React TypeScript application, and I am installing the libraries. There is no change in any library that you install. So Formic or Axios or any cookies, all same. So what you need to do, npm install, suppose Axios. I am installing Axios. Axios is installed here. Yeah. It's taking a while. Okay, so Axios. Fine. Now I will set up npm install bootstrap and bootstrap icons and save. Your style binding, class binding, all features are same. And how you import, because by default it uses a module system. So all your import export are same. We learned namespace, but React is not going to use that directly in your React app. React is going to use namespace internally for library. Internally for library, it is going to use. For example, I will show here. See, okay, Bootstrap. How do we set up? You know already. So import dot node modules bootstrap dist css bootstrap dot css. So import node modules, bootstrap icons, and this font in that bootstrap icons dot css. Okay, all these libraries. Okay, now I will create one component again by name API demo and a new file API demo dot tsx. TypeScript components, we have to give extension tsx. So now here export function API demo and nothing change much here. Container fluid. Okay. Now here I given a header and let's keep a div. So this is like some fake store API. So text center. Okay. So BG dark and text white and padding 2. Fine. Now in the section area, we have a nav and here we have a label. form label is select category. And this is just font weight as bold. Okay. And below we have a drop down and we have class form select. And this will have a row and this will have a class called to. And we have a main area with the class as called 10. Deflex. So that is enough. Fine. And we will put a style binding, same. There is no change. 500 pixel. Overflow auto. Okay, these are all the design. This is all the design. Now we will keep it in the startup. API demo is in the startup. Now I want to connect with the fake store, get the data and display the data. I am repeating that example just to make you understand what is the difference. So between your JavaScript and a TypeScript application. So there is no difference in setting up environment. There is no difference in the libraries that you use. All are same as it is. So only the difference in dealing with the data, how you deal with the data. So we are expecting two details. One, categories list and its data type is string array. It is a string array. Another, we are expecting products from fake store. So product have product ID, product title, and description, all such details. So how you are going to manage the data? So you are going to deal with a string array, ordinary string array. There is no problem. Now let's see. So first we will go to the project and we will create contracts for the data we are going to deal with. What kind of data we are going to deal with, we will create the contract. Design is normal. There is nothing complex. So what I will do here is get the categories and show, get the products and show. Getting categories and displaying them is a simple process here, nothing complicated. Already we know. So we have a constant categories and a set categories. Categories is equal to use state. And use state, actually, we need to define, this time we need to configure a generic. What type of data it should handle? It should handle a string type array. How to designate a string type array, you already learned. So now it becomes a string type array. That means now it is strongly typed string type array. That is a string type array. So you see this use state, I go to the definition, right click and go to definition. This is use state, a function is present. And you can see what does it means. You know that. That means it is a generic method. Already we learned generic functions. Hook is a function, already we know, right? And it is a generic function. Generic function with return type. With return type as undefined. If you haven't mentioned any type and it will use as undefined. And it is using the state. So actually, it is completely designed. It is completely designed with this hierarchy. And you know what does this means? What does this means? It means that it is using some namespace. If it is a direct module system, it should use import and export. So it is using a namespace system. Yeah, already we learned in namespace how it works. We don't directly use any namespace in React until or unless we are building a separate library for us. Actually, in some projects, they build. In some projects, what they do is they already have a complete library structure. They build their own library and they use that library. In that case, they use a lot of namespaces. And already I showed you how we do that. And this library is built with namespace. Library is built with namespace. But here we don't use any namespace. Just we use a simple module system and work with that. Now, this is fine. How about products? We are going to access the products. Actually, product is not a string type. Product have a lot of types. Already we learned how to declare an structure for object. If you are expecting an array of objects, how to declare array of objects? Suppose constant, what you are expecting, products, what it is, set products, and is equal to use state. I'm expecting an array of fake store products. Array of fake store products. How you will declare an array of object type? Already I showed you that. In TypeScript, we learned that. So object type array. Am I right? We have to define an object type array. Object type array we are expecting. So what that object should contain? So structure of that object we need to configure here. That means it should contain ID, title, description, price, image, and all this. And how to reuse a contract. That's a structure. How to reuse a contract. So better what you do. So better what you do here is first, let's create in the SRC folder a contracts folder. In the contracts folder, we are creating a new contract that is fake store contract.ts. Contracts templates are designed with TS and components are designed with TSX. So contract export interface and this is fake store contract. And in that ID is a number, title is a string, and the price is number, and description is a string, image is a string, rating is an object with rate as number, count also as number. This is the type of data we are going to handle. So we create a contract. Previously, what we done in our JavaScript, what type of data we are going to deal, that data we initialize. We initialized in the use state. In the use state, we were initializing every data. But now we create a contract. And this contract must be used in this demo, API demo. So here we will import the contract. So import fake store contract from the contracts and use state. This time it is what type? Fake store contract type array. Because we are expecting multiple here, it is a fake store contract type array. That's how we configure a state in TypeScript. The rest of concept is same. There is no change in any other concept. So that means now what we do, we have a function. So load categories is a function. And actually, according to the TypeScript nature, you have to configure as what type, void type, right? Even you don't define by default, it takes based on what type it is. That's the reason people don't feel any difficulty in writing the code of TypeScript. They follow same as it is in JavaScript. But actual TypeScript asks for type. What is advantage is it is using type inference mechanism. Depending on what it is returning, it knows the type. It will fix it. That's the reason even they are using TypeScript, they are having the habit of following same JavaScript like concept. But usually it is void type according to TypeScript. Now what we need an Axios. Axios dot what get from HTTP and fake store api.com/products slash categories and then uses a callback function, so we will get the response. And what we need to do, set categories and the response dot data. Whatever response data comes, we will keep that. Similarly, we have a function. The function is load products and it is expecting an URL. So this URL is a string type URL. That is string type. You know the parameter type and the return type you have to configure. It is mandatory to mention the parameter types, especially when you are dealing with TypeScript. So now what we need, Axios. So we need to get Axios.get and HTTPS fake store api.com/uh, products slash the not required directly URL. Na? Yeah. So we will pass the URL and dot then we have a response, and this response it will set into products. So the response data it will set into the products. So now we need use effect. So use effect and there is no change in any other hook that you have learned. Everything is same. And now here we have to access load categories and load products. Okay. Now it is expecting URL now. So HTTPS fake store api.com/products. It is going to return all the products. Now here we want to display the categories. Your binding of data is same. Categories dot what? Map. And now here one important point is there. So the important point is whether you initialized the data here or not. See, you mentioned the data. This is categories. Huh? What type it is? String type array. It is string type array. You haven't initialized any array. If I don't initialize any array, that means if I don't pass anything into the, by default, it is undefined. Am I right? So that means if I don't pass any data into it, don't initialize anything. Actually, it is expecting a string. You don't pass any string, then what is its type? If you don't pass a string array, it is an undefined. So generically, it is union of two types, either string array or undefined. Here also, either fake store or undefined. Fake store or undefined. That means this is either fake store or it is undefined. That means this state, you can see that it says that either string or undefined. That means if you don't pass, you don't initialize anything, then it will not get any data. It will not get any data. Then what we have to do is we need to write like this. What is the data categories? Categories, it is expecting data as an array type. If you initialize it, you can directly use. If you don't initialize, you are expecting later data comes, then you have to keep it with a question mark. Question mark because data is expected at runtime. What type of data it should deal, what data it should deal, it is decided at the runtime. So we need to use question mark dot, what is it? Map. Why we need to use a question mark here is because you haven't initialized any data. If you don't initialize any data, it is what type? It is an undefined type. That means it's optional. It is not having data. If it is not having data, how you can map it? So then we will tell that later when data comes, map. So that means we need to keep it as a null reference type, right? Now I will show the key point also. For example, see now here, how do we read? Every category we need to read. After reading every category, we need to present an option. And in the option, we will put a category and we have a key. And what is the key? Key is category. And category name, like we put in two uppercase, that is the category title we are configuring. So this is fine. Everything is okay. Now observe carefully. If I remove this question mark, now it is invalid because it is saying that you haven't initialized anything. Then I am expecting a null. So what I will do here, let's go to the initializer. In the initializer, I will say that it is an array of what type? String. I initialized that it is an array of string. If I initialize it that it is an array of string, then there is no problem in this. That means you don't need a question mark. Now it is fine. Now this is fine. If you don't initialize, then it will refer as what? Null. Then how do you access the null? So this is important. So example here, I will give one point. Constant, some categories, set categories is equal to use state. It is a string type array. Now here, categories question mark dot map. We have to use this. So if state is not initialized, state is not initialized. So if state is not initialized, so why we have to do like that? If state is not initialized, uh, default it is undefined. If state is not initialized, then default it is undefined. Undefined. So that is the reason you need to configure nullable. If categories and set categories use state is a string type array and we declared an array of string initialize. Now it is fine. You can use categories dot map. Directly you define. If state is initialized with value type, that is one basic rule you need to follow. So it is not necessary to initialize. But if you are not initializing, it will be null, it will be undefined. Then we use a null reference character because the null reference character indicates that the value will be supplied at runtime, not at the compile time. If compile time value is not provided, then it will return undefined. Runtime value is not provided, then it will be null type. So this one important change you will find in state, configuring the state and accessing and using the state. So I am displaying the data here. I am displaying the data here. All the data is working fine. Right. So, and rest of other options are same, no need to explain you. So here response dot data dot unshift all. Okay. Unshift all means it should get all as the first element here. Now we need to display all the products here, all the products. So in the main area, we are dealing with products, question mark dot, because we haven't initialized the data map. So read every product, and for every product, we design a div. So we'll have a key. So the product ID, and this will have a class card, margin 2, padding 2, and style. So we define width as 200 pixel. And we have an image source is product.image, product.image. They are all strongly typed, and class is card image top, and height of the image is some 140 pixel. 140 is enough, right? And we have a div, and let's say class card header. And here we will keep a product title. Fine. So we are having this data style height as some 150 pixel. Now, this is all the products related data we are having. So we have display flex, flex wrap, then it will be fine. Now we can access the data and display the data here. Rest of your functionalities are same. There is no change. Events are same. Event handling is same, right? That means what is here? We are writing a function, and the function is handle category change. And this is a void. This is event related. And what it should do, get the event argument. Now this time, what is the type of event argument? Data type of event argument. You have to mention data type for parameters in TypeScript. So what you are expecting here? Event related properties, object related properties. And some are string, some are number, some are boolean, some are arrays. Then it is obviously any type, any as the type. Why? Because IDs, so class names, values, these are string type. like checked, required. These are Boolean types. You have all kind of data, min length, max length. These are number types. That means everything will come. Then you should be any type. Now what we need to do? So if condition is e dot target dot value is equal to all. If target value is all, then load products and load all the products, right? Otherwise, else what should happen is load products, and it should load only the products belong to that category. HTTPS fakestoreapi.com/products/category/ e dot target dot value, the category name we are passing into it. And this must be handled by this drop down. That means change on change handle category change. So you will not find much difference. Only one difference is parameter type. So we need to configure the parameter type. Now this is the data we are having, and we are selecting jewelry or something. It will get that and it should display that. Some problem? Value we haven't passed, no? Actually, option value, because we converted uppercase, huh? Value must be in lowercase only, because in their database, their category names are in lowercase. Value must be lowercase. That will be better. So you selected jewelry, only jewelry will come. So all, then all will come. So rest of concept is working fine. Only the point here is you saw some changes in the data. Means how you configure the data, how you access the data from state, and how you present it. There is no change in presentation and all, only the changes in configuring the state and accessing the state. How you initialize. Earlier, what we need to do is for every type, lot of initialization is required. You have to initialize everywhere, array of object. Now you create one contract and define the state with that contract. That means now every time it will use the contract. That is the point. So these are strongly typed. So that means you just use a contract here. It will work. So I will copy this example. So in this example, what is first point is add contracts folder in SRC. Then add fake store contract, fake store contract.ts. In this fake store contract.ts, I will copy this code. We need to set up this. And next, what you need to do is add a new component. Component, you know, API demo dot what JSX TSX TSX. Now this TSX, let me copy this, and in this is the code. So it completely depends on the contract that you are configuring here. And while accessing, whether you use the null reference or not is important. That depends on you initialized your data or not. If you initialized, then you don't need. If you haven't initialized, then you have to just use a question mark, null reference. Both techniques I have used here. All concepts are same. That means Here, only one point, event binding with event arguments require the event type to define as any type, to define as any type. So we have a function, so handle some name change, something like this. E any type, and it is an void type. So that is one. So already above I given form and all same. Routing and cookies. So same as in JavaScript. So there is no change in that. Route libraries, how you use the route libraries, cookies libraries, how to use the cookie library, same as in JavaScript. There is no change. So the change you will find in the handling of data and functions. So only one thing strongly you should remember while writing functions, while writing function parameters, and while defining state, data type is required. That's only the rest of all features will work as this, right? All the features will work as this. You may have a doubt like, what about material and material UI also same. You learned MUI. So MUI is same as you used in JavaScript. So actually in MUI, it is same. So only it requires data type configuration for references. That's only the concept. And in the library already they provided both syntaxes. That means for TypeScript, what is syntax? And for JavaScript, what is syntax? Already they provided it in MUI library. So if you feel any difficulty in understanding the type, you can check their library. That means what it is here. Suppose I'm using MUI, this is Material UI library. And in the Material UI library, so here we are using, MUI core. You see the components here. Suppose we have components, button group in components are there. And when you look at the components, this is the component. And actually, when you look at the source code, this is the source code we are having. Expand the code. And this is the code. And by default, it is showing in TypeScript and in JavaScript. And you will not find any change much here. This is TypeScript and this is JavaScript, and you will not see any changes there. Right? In TypeScript also same. I am clicking on JS. It is also same. There is no change. But few changes will be there. So when you are writing any logic function, data type configurations may be there. So you see here all the different types of logic for every concept actually. Suppose you are giving a text field. Okay. And you can see here, expand the code, and you can see for TypeScript, it is same. For JavaScript also it is same. There is no change. So almost all components are same. Very few data types will be changing that you can easily handle based on what type of data you are sending. You can create a contract and you can define. So there is no change in that. Everything is similar here. So what JavaScript applications you tried, all those JavaScript applications you can replicate into TypeScript, right? Now we will do one thing is we will create one project. So for this, I will give you a complete idea of that project. Few I will show implementation, other you try. Because already we discussed a to-do application. Similarly here, we will create another project. Two projects I will show you. Another one project now we will see how to design. Another project complete code I will give, you have to design. Everything you have to create, right? So what we will do is we will create a simple um, video library project. Video library application. We will create a simple video library application. In this video library application, this is with the TypeScript. So TypeScript as language. Remember, many people may have a doubt like sometimes I'm using TypeScript in the front end. What about Node.js? Will Node.js also use TypeScript? No, Node.js will use JavaScript, no, right? That means backend will never change. Backend is same. In the front end, whatever you use, it doesn't matter for backend because you are creating API. Which technology you use it for designing API, you don't need that. You just need the API requests. What technology is behind, you don't need to care about that. That means sometimes you may have doubt like, then I am using React with the TypeScript. Then Node.js also I have to use with the TypeScript. It, backend, which technology we are using, they are using, it doesn't matter for us. That means, do you know which technology fake store people are using in the backend? We don't know. But the fake store can be used in Java, .NET, PHP, Python, any application. That means APIs doesn't matter with what technology they are built. In the front end, we just need their URL and we just need the request types. So on any technology you can implement. So backend Node.js will be JavaScript node. So MongoDB database, only the front end will be. So TypeScript additionally we are using. So we will create a video library project with TypeScript as language. So that means it is a React application, TypeScript as language in the front end. And in this, we have modules. We will create one module. We will have a admin module. So we have admin module. We will create one module. Will have two modules in this admin module. What admin can do is admin can log in and we give a fixed admin. That means no admin registration. We will maintain one admin table. In that we will add only who can log in. So we will put the credentials for them. So we will not add, we will not ask them to register. We will create credentials and we will give it to them. They can just only log in. Admin can log in, and admin can add videos into video library. So edit videos, so delete videos. So that is what admin can do. Admin can log in, admin can add videos, admin can edit videos, admin can delete videos. Now you have user module. In this, user can register, user can log in, user can view videos, user can like and dislike videos, dislike videos. So user can comment on videos like this. That means user can do lot of activities. User can search for videos. So that means we have the facility of searching, viewing, like, dislike, comment, like operations. But user cannot add a video, user cannot delete videos, or user cannot edit the videos. So we give only the permission to view, like, dislike, and comment on the videos. So these two modules we need to design. That means we need to create these two modules. That means on the home page, it will ask admin login, user login. And when admin login, admin's login screen will provide the credentials to enter. Once he enter, admin can see a complete grid view of videos. That means what videos are there. And he can add video, delete video from there. Users can watch that, right? So user can log in and he can watch the videos, right? So this we want to implement. Then what are the data models required? Data models you need. So data models means we have a final one option is that actually we need one TBL admin. TBL admin is for table, admin table. So admin table will have an field like user ID and a password. So these two are enough for admin. We will maintain just these two for admin. Additionally, you can add any more details you want. Next, another point is now admin can add videos, and actually we can filter the videos based on different categories. We can filter the videos. So we will put TBL categories. In this, what we will do is category ID and category name. Category name. That means when videos are uploaded, they are uploaded to different categories. For example, we are creating some tutorial of software React JS videos, one category, Java videos, Oracle videos, C videos, like that we can categorize the videos, right? And here we will not upload a video file, so that is not recommended for web. We will upload the embedded URLs. From YouTube we can take an embedded URL and we can upload those embedded URLs. That videos will be embedded into our project. They are embedded. So this is categories, and in this next we have TBL videos. Here we have a video ID and we have a title and we have description. So and video related, what are the details we are having? We have likes, we have dislikes, the count we need to maintain there. So video ID, title, description, likes, dislikes, and category ID. That means this belongs to which category. And actually category ID is primary key here. Here video ID is the primary key and category ID is the foreign key. That means every video belongs to a category. Relationship we have to maintain, so that later we user can filter the videos based on the category. Now comments we will maintain in a separate folder, the separate table. That means we have TBL comments. We have comment ID and description. You have two things here: comment ID, description. And this comment belongs to which video? Video ID. This is the foreign key. That means we will load the comments separately. We will not use the comments, means we will not attach the comments to the videos table. Based on video ID, we will load the comments separately, because in some videos we can disable comments so that they cannot post the comments. So, and we must able to delete the comments separately. Only comments must be deleted. That means we must able to separately manage the comments, not with regard to the video, right? So we should maintain a separate collection of comments so that comments can be disabled, deleted, like. Okay. Next, we need what? Another one is we need TBL users. This is for registration, user ID, and this is have username, password, some email, mobile, something like this. These are user, this is for user registration and user login. For user registration and user login, we need this. So user can register and user can login. Okay. So this is all the content we need for the video. These are the all data models we need. The modules and data models related to the modules, right? Okay. Next important. Now This you have to create, but you know already that ORM it is supported. You design the API, it will create according to your requirements. So REST API, what are the API requests, and what are the methods we need to design? API, REST API, for this, what is the method? We have a get method, and what is the path? First, we are expecting first admin login. That means what we have to do, get the admin. Get admin, through that we can get the admin details and they can log in. So first we will plan for all the admin related. Next, what admin can add a video. So that means post, add video, and put. So edit video. So based on the ID, right? And delete. So this is a delete video based on ID. Get video, add video, edit video, delete video. And another get method is, this is get video based on the ID. Specific video we must able to access. User can watch individually that video on a separate screen. User can watch all the thumbnails of videos and he can choose any video, it will get that video. And you must get all the videos also. Get what? Videos. Get videos will get all the videos. Get video will get only specific video based on the ID. And they must able to edit and delete the videos. And one more, we maintain separate categories. That means what? Get categories. Get categories. If you want, you can give a separate CRUD operation for categories also. Admin can add category, remove category, like that we can define. As of now, we will put some hard-coded categories and we will use those categories. Next point. So we have get users and we have a register user. Get user and we have get comments. We have post comments. Get comments, it will get the comments, but not all comments based on the ID. This is video ID, based on video ID. Not based on comment ID. Based on video ID, we have to get the comments for that video and show them. Add comment. And you can add if you want delete comments and all. Delete comments is nothing but put a delete method, delete comment based on ID, right? If you want to manage the delete operations. These all API methods we have to create, right? So REST API we need to design. And actually one we forgot about, every video actually have a, every video have a URL. That is important. URL is nothing but the path of video from where it will get the video. Video URL is important. Title, description, likes, dislikes, and where is video? Video is necessary. Video gets from that URL. URL will get a embedded path of video which you can use. So now this is the API requests, and we need to create them. Now for this, we need to build a UI, the front end with the TypeScript. And in this, we will use a state management library called Redux. So we will use Redux for keeping information about what the videos user recently watched. History, like we will maintain in a history and we can access and we can show him what he watched earlier. For that, we will use a Redux store. We will learn how Redux is used. We already learned Reducer. Then Redux also will be similar, same. Only one point is I told you Redux is at higher level and use Reducer it at lower level. That means at higher level, large amount of data and actions you need to maintain, then you can use a Redux store. Then tomorrow we'll see this. Tomorrow we will first build the API, then we will start designing the UI. And here I will give only 60-70% of help. Rest you have to do. Right? Project is not for me, it is for you. So if I do the project and I show you the project, you just watch it. So it is no use. So already one I showed completely. This one I will guide you what where you have to handle. You have to build it. So another project I will give an ERP shopping application with code and everything that completely you have to build. I will just give you a document. In the document, everything is there. You have to build everything. I will not explain anything about that, right? So this I will give a guidance how to handle that relation, how you access and use it. That's one point. If you know, then you can manage all CRUD. Tomorrow we'll continue with this. Okay, right.